Welcome back to my mental health and crime channel. My name is Huda London. This is for educational purpose only. This is a case of the Idaho 4. May the victims rest in peace. Condolence to the families. May the correct justice be served. This is all my thoughts, speculations. Maddie Morgan put this up on her TikTok on the 30th of October 2022. 13 days before the quadruples happened. I like to always check and investigate things that were happening to the 4 victims and people surrounding them way before they were unalived. DM doesn't look like she's in a comfortable position. I don't think this is a Halloween prank going on, in my opinion. Maddie's sitting on DM and she's pouring a drink up her mouth. I think that's hazing. And then you have Zana sitting and not even stopping it. She's on the phone. I don't know if she's recording it, but this was what was on Maddie Morgan's TikTok. Here's the proof that Maddie Morgan, may she rest in peace, put this on her TikTok. Look at the date. 30th October 2022. 12 days before the unalivings. Use this if you're gay, Jaden. I believe Jaden is Jaden Smith, as Will Smith's son, in my opinion. There's a nasty song that plays, and it's on TikTok. You can see Maddie Morgan is TikTok. So I believe there was some kind of bullying going on. You can see the pain in DM's eyes, in my opinion, once again, allegedly. What was actually going on that day? Maddie put this poster up too. Pay attention to DM's forehead. She looks at, she's got a bruise on her forehead. And look at Zana's hands. They look bruised. That is what I see, at least. Why were Maddie and Zana being so rude to DM? The surviving roommates are important, and I always wonder if there was beef before the quadruples happened. Pay attention to DM's forehead. And Zana is knuckles. Something else could have been going on. Was there a fight club going on? What was actually happening? Maddie Morgan 8 put up this picture too, that same day, on Halloween's day, 12 days before the quadruples. Look at DM. People think she's tied. No, she's not. Look at her hands. It's tied with the yellow rope. What was actually going on that night? Could DM have taken revenge? Could her father have done that? Allegedly. Could her boyfriend Quinn have done that? Allegedly. I'm just asking. We saw the black truck, and the stories don't make sense. And it still states, once again, from Maddie Morgan, use this if you're gay, Jaden. I wonder why. Could this have something to do with the quadruples? Let me know what you'll think. Why didn't DM and BF, who both saw Zana on the floor, her legs towards the door, why didn't they call for help? They both were in the same room at the first floor because DM ran to BF's room. Why didn't they get help for Zana? DM lives right underneath Kaylee and Maddie. Is she trying to say she didn't hear anything? She in fact saw somebody with a bushy eyebrow. Was she guaranteed by the suspect or suspects that she wouldn't be touched if she kept quiet? Was all this pre-planned? When DM sent Eric, the driver, the text message, was that some kind of code? That maybe the coast is clear. DM is tall. So should have known if the suspect was as tall as Brian Koberger. Brian is over 6'1", 6'2". What was the real dynamics going on between the roommates? Who really liked who and who really disliked who? Why did Zana need to change her door locks? Her father said he helped her to change her door locks. The mother said the father helped her too. Was she scared of something? Let's not forget DM and Zana were living in the same floor, and they all were sharing the same living room and the kitchen space. So now we're supposed to take DM and BF's words seriously. Although DM herself said she doesn't know if she was awake or if she's imagining these things. If she's seeing it or imagining it. Why did they demolish the house? This was a party house. The taxi driver, local taxi driver, said this was the party place that he used to drive people to go buy rugs. BF would know definitely with the VENMOS. So there was rug activity going on in the house. That wasn't a lie. But the question is how much? Was it just some college pills and such things, or was it worse? And could that have been the reason Brian was driving 28 times to this house? Was it for Bethany Funk? Maybe it was BF who knew Brent Kopacker, may he rest in peace, and Brian Koberger. Let's not forget she knows Jack Showalter, she and DM, from high school. Was this an inside job, is the question. Even the chief said the surviving roommates are not witnesses. They were just there. He corrected the ABC reporter. 2 a.m. is the darkest hour. Why did they change the timeline? In the beginning they said it was between 3 to 4 a.m. There has been many fraternities that have been banned or cancelled or put on probation because of rug activities, hazing, violence, etc. And this is a good example I wanted to show you all. So when we heard in the beginning of the case that drug activities were involved, I hardly talk about that because I know that it could be partly. But the question is, was there just drug activities with small supply that college students use, or was this bigger than we think? Because we know that the Sigma Chi fraternity was involved, allegedly, like the 4chan says, with steroids. And that's drugs. And we have BF is VENMOS showing that she's selling drugs. COCAINE. So I'll play this for y'all.
Sigma Phi Epsilon cannot operate, listen to this, until spring 2027. Some of those rules broken involve alcohol-related conduct, drugs, and drug paraphernalia, and breaking the restrictions they were already on after facing disciplinary
on campus and in town, paid for with cash and financial apps including Venmo and PayPal, neither company charged with wrongdoing. 21 people are charged, all in their 20s and nearly all from North Carolina, except for the primary supplier who's from California. He's pleaded guilty. The total proceeds, at least $1.5 million. But the U.S. Attorney says this is about more than this drug ring. It's about a drug culture on campus.
I call on university administrators, I call on the national chapters of these fraternities. Do something, take a stand.
All three universities say they are cooperating with law enforcement. The chancellor of UNC says he's extremely disappointed, promising the university will enforce the student conduct code. A spokesman for Duke saying the university takes these allegations seriously, promising they'll be dealt with through our disciplinary process. Appalachian State says it's committed to providing a safe campus. A national spokesman for one of the fraternities, Phi Gamma Delta, which was not charged, called the allegations disheartening. Such conduct, he said, will not be tolerated. On town, paid for with cash and financial apps including Venmo and PayPal, neither company charged with wrongdoing.
Massive college drug ring in North Carolina, one that was pumping cocaine, LSD, and other dangerous narcotics onto the campuses at Duke, UNC Chapel Hill, and Appalachian State. Investigators say they arrested more than 20 what they called hardened drug dealers, many of them current or former students who were operating out of fraternity houses. Most of them, they tell us, were at UNC. They apparently used encrypted cell phone apps to communicate, and Venmo and PayPal and the like to rake in more than $1 million in drug money. Here's CNBC's Scott Cohn.
To hear federal authorities tell it, the drug ring offered a supermarket of illegal substances.
Thousands of pounds of marijuana over the course of several years. Hundreds of kilos of cocaine, LSD, Molly or MDMA, mushrooms, steroids.
At three of North Carolina's largest universities. But beyond the sheer size of the operation, prosecutors say it was shockingly brazen. The drugs openly for sale inside fraternity houses, as well as on campus and in town, paid for with cash and financial apps including Venmo and PayPal, neither company charged with wrongdoing.
So this clearly shows drug activity, fraud activity in the Greek life across all the universities. This is the FBI speaking. So these are not rumors, these are facts. We've heard that David Lodge and David B were involved with steroids, allegedly. And Bethany Funk is Venmo's shows that she was involved with illegal substances. And I don't believe it's a fake Venmo. And that could explain the reason BF didn't want to call 911 if she had illegal substance at home. As her DM I showed you, she has been bullied, tied up, gagged, being called Jaden, being called gay, and the song is nasty that's playing on TikTok. This is the topic that has been spoken about the bullying. And then you had Hannah Clear, who overdosed on over-the-counter sleeping pills, which doesn't make sense. And her brothers were seen at the grub truck with the white Hyundai Elantra. Allegedly. Those are the rumors coming from the college in the beginning of this case. So many things that were debunked doesn't necessarily mean that they were lies. Some could have been the truth. But people were just busy debunking things left, right, and center without being... We have no right to debunk anything. We are not the police or law enforcement in this case. Bethany Funk and Showalter know each other. And Showalter and DM have gone to the same high school in Boise, Idaho. Found that to be interesting. We heard that Hannah Clear was bullied by Maddie, I believe. Not sure. And she overdosed herself. Apparently that's her brother, allegedly. You can see Showalter standing and looking at Kaylee and Maddie. The brother came with the white Hyundai Elantra. Bethany Funk was really busy with the VENMOS. And remember what the clip I just played said? That these students were using Cash App and PayPal and Venmos. That's why it could have taken BF allegedly 8 to 9 hours to call the cops. They needed to get all the rugs out, even if they were not involved. They were hiding something. And that's why I believe that Brian Koberger could have been coming to this area 28 times to buy from Bethany Funk. That's from her Venmos, not mine. Riley Hilden paid Bethany Funk. Crack cocaine behind the rail. Dumpster. It's not only one Venmo with coke. It's a couple. So is that why they delayed the 911 calls, allegedly? Is that why Bethany Funk didn't want 911 to come immediately? Should have got arrested. And maybe DM got someone to do it for her. It wasn't only one incident, one target, one motive. There were other people involved too. There are multiple suspects. That's what I believe, in my opinion. This is all my thoughts and speculations. Have a lovely night. Thank you, guys.